body bags where horror lies.
Hello and welcome to Body Bags. My name is James and I'm your Sunday night reviewer, and this evening I decided to bring you a 2020 movie. Now there's two movies that I've seen so far this year that are kind of dealing with the subject of dementia, Alzheimer's, in very, very different ways. The first one I saw was Rent-A-Pal, which I thought was fantastic. Really, really enjoyed that film. And the second one is one I actually watched last night, which is Relic. So this has had kind of a couple of comparisons to Babadook, which I understand where people are coming from with that one. It's a Natalie Erica James she's directed this movie, and I will throw spoiler warning. Although I'm not going to talk about all the details of the film, I will kind of heavily give away what the film is, so please be warned at that. So yeah, like I mentioned, so there's two horror movies that I've seen so far anyway, that kind of heavily influenced, well, have the theme of dementia. So we follow, well, it's kind of three generations. So there's the mother with her daughter, and then the grandmother, and we follow all three characters within this movie. So it's loosely the story. So the grandmother is missing, so the mother and the granddaughter go to the house and they're like trying to find her. They're in contact with people and they're trying to track down where she's gone. And there's little things within the house that they're seeing. It's like strangeness. And they eventually find her. And how she's acting is very strange. When you know kind of how people are with dementia. My father suffers from dementia, so Alzheimer's, the same as this movie. So you there's a lot of you see many patterns, and with this movie and Rent-A-Pal, how they're filmed is quite beautiful. Like how you pick up on certain throwaway scenes or throwaway moments, throwaway lines of these things that you might not necessarily pick up on, but someone who knows these things, it's kind of, there's detail in there which is, it's really, really well brought to the screen. Like I said, I use the word beautiful. It's like, it's painfully beautiful because it's things that don't always get noticed. And these two kind of films have really paid attention to this area. They've not just decided to use a character within a film that's a bit forgetful, which is what you kind of get many times, and how it's brought to life in Relic is quite a unique way that I've not seen before. So anyway, you see this kind of how this woman is, and you're hearing all these kind of things and seeing these things and within the house, and kind of it's like this possession movie, and the movie's building and building. It wasn't till I got towards the end that I realised what kind of possession movie this was, and this is like where the spoiler is heavily into this. So if you want to watch the film spoiler free, please just stop this review. But if you kind of seen the movie already, or you're quite happy to kind of have it spoiled, then carry on. So the possession of the film is the actual Alzheimer's itself, but as a physical form. And it's kind of, it wasn't until it's kind of, the woman, she's kind of turning demonic, and it's kind of how it is. That's not how Alzheimer's is with people, but it's overplaying to the point of, it's because it's trying to show, I think it's trying to show like how people that don't know have it, how it is to have a loved one with dementia, like how it is, how scary it is, and it's kind of how you want to almost run away. And it's like they have this point in this movie, it's like she's scary, the grandma, they're making it demonic, but it stops dead. It's like they're running out of the house. Like there's this house that's scary, it's this house that they've known for many, many years, but then this house becomes scary. It's these rooms they've known for many, many years, but then they're not the same thing, they're not the same rooms, there's differences, they're like kind of scared, it's not what they used to know. Things are changing, and it's like the grandma's changing, and like I said, it's kind of, it's played up over the top. So people that don't really kind of follow like how this can be, it's like it's kind of lamenting that element of fear for them to see. But people that have family members and people or even suffer with dementia, they have this fear all the time. And how it's brought at the end, so it's like they're running out of the house, the granddaughter runs out of the house, she's like screaming at her mom, let's go. And the mom is there at the door, and she sees the grandmother, and she's like this demonic kind of thing. She stops at the door, and she's like, she doesn't know who this woman is anymore, but then she does, she can see, and it's her mother. It's this kind of demonic possession, but it's her mother, and that's what the Alzheimer's is. And this is, it gets really, it's quite stunning how it's done. It's like, because throughout the film she's getting, the grandma, she's getting these marks on her, this black kind of, it's starting to erode the skin. And it's the mother, it's Emily Mortimer, sorry, the mother with the grandmother, and it's this really touching scene. She's on this bed and she's peeling away the flesh, and it's like the grandmother is there. I can't remember if she's like humming or talking, or she's just making noise. She's just there quite calm. This isn't hurting or anything like that, so it kind of sounds graphic, peeling off the flesh, but it's to show this black person, a black person. It's difficult to explain. It's a different person underneath, but it's not. And how they film this and how they do the makeup and things, it's done so well, and it's, the grandmother becomes lost, but then you can see elements of her still in there, and that's what the daughter's fear is. It's like she's lost, she's losing her mother, but it's still her mother. It's like this possession is taking over, but the mother is still there. And it's this scene right at the end where it's the mother and the grandmother are lying on the bed. The grandmother is quite, she's there with the daughter behind her, and then the granddaughter sees all of this. She's scared, but she's understanding like what it is, and she's accepting these things, and she's lying on the bed. So it's the three of them, it's the grandmother, the mother, and the daughter. So the granddaughter, and she's lying there, it's like a really touching scene. And then on the mother, she sees this small mark. And she's like slowly reaching to it. She's gonna pull down the jumper, but you don't need to do that because she realizes it's the same mark that started off in the grandmother. It's the Alzheimer's, and I thought it was beautifully put together and done. So there is no demon possession. It's the Alzheimer's possession, but shown in like a demon form. And I've never seen that done before, and that touched something with me, definitely, and I think it will with many people. I think quite a lot of people, like not knowing, kind of having any links to this, they might find the film a bit boring and a bit of a anti-climax maybe at the end, but this was a really well done film, and I enjoyed it, but I understood it, and I found it powerful, and it was it's one that stays with me. I was talking with my wife. She hates horror movies. I explained this to her, and it's like kind of, I would love her to see that, but the kind of the building up to this film, it would scare her. She gets really scared all the time with horror films, but I'd highly recommend watching this one with open eyes, kind of knowing that it's dementia, that what this possession is. I mean, this film isn't perfect. There's elements. I haven't given it a full marks. For like, as an example, I've given it like an 8 out of 10, because there is stuff, and it's like I'm not going to like mark it on an emotional level because I really connected with film emotionally, but looking at it from a filming point of view, and there's bits and pieces that I was like, it's a bit slow in certain areas, and how some of it's done. Like I said, it's over the top because it's kind of, if it was more subtle, I think it was like filmed for people who know this situation, but filming it more for like the mass of people that don't always know the situation, that don't know what this is. They just think Alzheimer's is something where people just lose their memory and stuff and get confused. It's so much more than that. It's so much more, and this is a way that Natalie Erica James decided to kind of try and show that, to show the fear of what it's like for people that have loved ones within this situation. But anyway, that's my heavily spoiler review. Didn't go too much into the film, but just blasted the end out there, I guess. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll catch you next week. Cheers. Bye bye.